Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. Oh, we're live?
No, about to right now.
We're live now? Sorry, guys. That was a little weird. I just got off of a private Google Plus Hangout with YouTube partners, and so we kind of went back-to-back with that Hangout to this. I guess you could call this live broadcast a Hangout too. Let me go ahead and welcome some of our friends in the monitor behind me, and in a couple seconds' time. Look at that! Oh, we've got Yamazaru Ninja, Ron Knights, Fazal, Courtney, Ben Starr, The Bingsta, PJ Hanna, Austin L. Allen, Blizzardo1, Unidentified 1765 something, Tyler Biedka, Team Wardo, Ed's Computer Support, Magic Tracks, Snappy Tech, Rob Heathcote, Blue Gator, Brian, J. Kane 11, and the list kind of goes on and on. And, of course, I also have to welcome all of those who are tuned in to the live broadcast on YouTube itself. Pinking1555, GadgetHead16, Evangelist Soldier, Lewell NC, Richard Shire, Lego Star Wars Club 9876, and I think you win the award for longest username watching this video. One Radical Dude is also watching, Computer Life 22. Hey, how you doing? We've got quite a few people who have tuned in for the live broadcast, and I'm very, very happy to see you here. We've got a few things to share with you today, and hopefully we'll be able to get through it all within a certain amount of time. I have to scoot off after the live broadcast to do the, I'm co-teaching a class on entrepreneurship. And speaking of entrepreneurship, we had, I think, a great turnout with last night's webinar on how to make money with your website. And some people said that webinar alone was worth a $97 annual subscription for Nomies, just for one webinar. So if you are a small business owner, or if you know of a small business owner, or a business owner in general that's looking for help, have them join us. Nomies.com. It's not just full of geeks and IRC nerds. No, it's full of people who are doing business online. Like myself, I do business. It's just what I do. I'm not a communist. I'm sorry to disappoint any of you out there. And I know some people are quick to complain about certain things. I mean, even in the face of providing all this great content for you, people still find a way to complain about free stuff, which makes me wonder, really? You got nothing better to do than complain? Why not do something instructive with your time? It's just an idea. Now, if you want to help us spread the word about what we're doing, you probably want to stay up to date on what we're doing. Head over to LockerGnome.com. A link is certainly in the video's description. Sign up for the LockerGnome email newsletter. You will see a small, giant red arrow in the sidebar, at least today, on the current design. That's where you sign up for the email newsletter, so you can stay up to date. And then, of course, we also have the ability to help you, help us spread the word about what we are doing with LockerGnome. If you head over to go.tagjag.com/spread, what will happen is when we publish a new video on the YouTube channel, or we publish a new article on LockerGnome or chris.pirillo.com, you can set it up to automatically share it on Facebook and Twitter, your own. You give us full permission. And you can even, decide how much is shared or how little is shared, but you are in full control. So go.tagjag.com/spread is where I want to point you to. Again, this is how many times have I mentioned this? A few times, I think. Quite honestly, because it's really working. We're getting a few of you, I guess, because of you joining. We now have a reach on Twitter, at least, of an additional 600,000 people. See, all of you combined give us that reach. So if you appreciate the content we're doing for you on YouTube, LockerGnome, or wherever, you can help us spread the word. So let's go ahead and start that word spreading by clicking the like button there on the YouTube page and plus wanting it, just like Harry Creeder, Daniel Johnson, Sean Jordan, Skylar Johnson, and Adonis Delanis. Delianis? Sorry. Adonis Delanis just kind of rolled off the tongue. I'm going to go ahead and plus one it publicly and then share it on Google+. See, that's the important part. You add a comment of why you're sharing it or plus oneing it. Like, I'm going to say, let's talk, and then share it. Because plus oneing is good, but then sharing it forward, you have to add a comment so that everybody can see exactly what you're sharing on Google+. I'm going to go ahead and tweet it out as well, this live video, as it's being broadcast. Let's say the same thing on Twitter and also on Facebook. Now, side note on Facebook, we are about 40 people shy of 50,000 likes on Facebook. I don't know really what that means. It's a lot of people who might like something. I prefer likes, plus ones, tweets, retweets, whatever you do to help spread the word about the things that we do for you. And it looks like 61 of you guys are following directions. That's how many people have liked this video. And that's really, you should do that for all the content publishers you like. Even if they say something you may not like, you may disagree with, it's okay to leave a comment. You know, as long as you're respectful. Disliking a video is just kind of rude. It just is. I feel that way outright. I don't care what you believe the dislike button's for. When a content publisher sees that, they feel a little dejected. They feel disappointed. They're wondering, well, why should I even do this for them? Why? Disliking something is easy. You just close the browser window and you walk away. Super simple. There's really no other trick to it. That's how I dislike things. I just close the window and move on. Come on, Chris. Get started. Well, I did get started. Did I not get... Am I not started? Diana is definitely here yet, though. Some people are asking about this Mac giveaway. I do have something here. A Mac Mini that used to be in working order, and I ended up shipping it to someone who bought it and gave him a refund because the hard drive died. So this is the original Stream computer that I have to give away, or I guess to whoever... I don't know if I want to give it away, though. I think it's worth something. Would you guys give me money for this here? Maybe you would, maybe you won't. I don't know. If you do, this is what you get. You get the autographed Mac Mini. How much would you buy this for? $24? That's how much it would cost to ship. I autographed it. This is the original Stream computer. Wicket and Pixie also autographed it. And then Diana Morales autographed it as well. Did you catch that? They autographed it. Paw? Because... All right, let's move that out of the way. If anybody wants to make a bid on that thing, how much you pay, I'll get it off to you, because it's just going to be sitting here in storage until I can figure out the way to give it away. And that would probably go to the person who would offer me the most money for it, because if I can get a few bucks out of it, it's a nostalgic piece. I mean, 100 years from now, when I've shuffled off this mortal coil, you could pass that on from generation to generation, saying, at one time, this guy named Chris Pirillo streamed live on this thing called the internet, and he used this computer. Dad, what's a computer? Yeah, see, that's what it's going to be like 100 years from now. You don't believe it, but, oh, wow, someone said they'll give me $800. I think he's lying. I think you're lying, because you could buy a new one at that price, and my autograph ain't worth that much. In fact, I think by putting my autograph on it, it's worth even less than broken. So thank you, the 82 of you who have decided to like the content. Did you guys also share it and plus one it and everything? Take that extra step for us. That's also appreciated. We're getting I think on average now, about 75 tweets per article on LockerGnome.com, approximately 50 shares on Facebook. That, again, is through go.tagjag.com/spread. Plus ones, we're still kind of working on it. We're still hovering in the 30s. Got to bring you guys up to speed. Start using that plus one button. And why is because you're going to get that content promoted on Google search results. And, you should like the content of me scratching my armpit because something itches down there. I don't know what the hell's going on. I got a fungus or something. I hope not. All right, let's begin with one article that I do not see in the show notes, but I know we haven't covered yet. So head over to LockerGnome.com, if you will. I'm going to give you a chance. Head over there right now. We're going to be looking for the telemedicine and telepsychiatry. Will e-health take off? Did not make the show notes. We'll be sure to get it added after the broadcast has gone live, and of course, it'll also get out in the newsletter. So give me a second here. I've got the page pulled up, and I'm going to go ahead and get it staged. You ready? You ready, honey? Well, think I'm still alive. Of course, I'm really not a doctor. I mean, the doctor I could email, thanks to my health insurance plan. And he would email me back, usually, telling me I'm crazy. My hair hurts. I think I'm dying. No, your hair doesn't hurt. Well, it does. Well, stop pulling it. It would stop hurting. Oh, yeah, thanks, doc. So, there's a future in medicine going online, telemedicine or telepsychiatry. But will e-health take off? This is the question that we've asked in the LockerGnome article linked in the description right below. I'm going to go ahead and plus one that publicly, just like Daniel Johnson, Sean Jordan, Skylar Johnson, Stacey Ferris, and Matthew Sabia have done. Going to go ahead and tweet and like that as well. Would you mind having something like that for your primary care? Instead of having to go into a doctor's office, you could meet with them online or email them all your symptoms just to see if you really were sick or you needed to come in to get further help. Wouldn't you rather see a counselor or a coach or a psychiatrist over something like Skype or a Google Plus Hangout privately than having to go to an office, sit on a very uncomfortable couch in a very unfamiliar environment and spill your guts. Wouldn't you rather do that online? Yes, see, 100 Creations on YouTube says, yes, grrr, this is what I'm saying. One Mac, one man, it's hard to read his username. My dad is a doctor and people actually do that. I'm not the only one. Jamie Bouch says, that would be nice to have that option. That's it. I hereby accuse Stacey Ferris of using a bot designed to instantly +1 everything. Yeah, well, that's a good accusation. I like people who +1 things. But my doctor is available by email, and I got to tell you, it saved me a few trips and also a few bucks. Because time is money, and I'd rather spend that time doing something else than driving to a doctor's office, sitting there and waiting. It's something that I think will be the future, because you're just going to go in and tell them the same stuff. Wouldn't you rather just sit at your chair and talk to a webcam telling him or her what's going on? Getting a consultant as a nurse to tell you, yes, you need to come in and get checked out. You are having a heart attack. It's probably a little too late if you're trying to connect to someone that way, and hopefully you have a way to mitigate any of that kind of disaster from happening to you. But it's really before something happens. You can connect with your doctors. In fact, you might want to check to see if this is even an option with your doctor right now, and if not, you might think about switching. So I'm curious to know what your experiences have been. Mine have been very positive with my doctors. This is something that is not going away. In fact, it's getting easier and easier to do. Now, that's not to say that I can find a doctor on a forum and ask him questions. He can tell me, is this infected? That's just not where you want to go for medical advice. I'd even question going to a forum like that for any advice related to your health. But, different strokes for different folks. Not to say that I hope anybody's had a stroke or has had to deal with a stroke before, but before you do, you may want to ask your doctor, and if you have a chance, email him. So, what do you think? Have you had experiences with this? Do you think this is a good way to go into the future? Let us know. Leave a comment here or there. All right. Wait, are you talking about diagnostics, or you expect a computer to be able to perform an endoscopy colonoscopy? They have a USB colonoscopy kit, actually. DJ Mix Doctor. Apple makes it. They don't. Don't Google for it. It was a joke. Yes, I would, says Galaxy Minder. All right. Let's go ahead and rock and roll with the next article on LockerGnome. And that would be, as I'm jumping around from page to page, I got so many things to pay attention to. How to solve most printer issues in Windows 7. Okay. Is it going?
Yeah.
Let's try it again. I'm sorry. My head was turned the other way.
I know. I didn't know what you were doing. I was like, what's that doing?
Okay, I'm going to turn there, wait a beat, and then start it. Ready?
Okay.
Nothing's happening. I'm watching my printer here. Nothing's printing out. Of course, I didn't ask anything to be printed, so I guess it's working. But have you ever had a problem when you send a job to the printer and the printer stops working? I'm guessing you have. In fact, I just fixed one of those problems with my mom's computer not too long before this live broadcast. And it was just something where a print job got stuck in the queue, and I went in and deleted it and then showed her what was going on so that if something like that happened in the future, she would know and be aware of how to take care of it herself without screaming and throwing the computer out the window. You really got to stop doing that, Mom. So, have you had problems with printers in the past? There's a lot of troubleshooting that you might have to do, specifically in relation to your printer and the operating system you've decided to use. But based on some of the questions you've been giving us, and believe you me, if you've got questions about something related to Windows, head over right now to go.tagjag.com/windows, and we will cover it for you. Right now, we have outlined how to solve most printer issues in Windows 7, so that the next time you end up having an issue, you might want to check out a way to solve the problem. In fact, one of the first suggestions that we make on this webpage, you can click the link in the description. In fact, before I forget, let me go ahead and +1 this article like Harry Creeder, Alex Pirillo, Daniel Johnson, Sean Jordan, and Skylar Johnson did. and tweet it and like it as well. I was so frustrated. I couldn't figure out what was going on. I kept sending it to the printer, kept sending it, and for 2 hours later, I check, and it was unplugged. The USB cable. I mean, the printer was on, the computer was on, but the USB cable was disconnected. I don't have that problem so much anymore because I've gone the way of Wi-Fi printers, so I don't have to connect it to anything and can access it from anywhere. Another thing you might want to do, and I realize this probably goes without saying, but update your drivers. Your printer may not tell you, hey, guess what? There's new software available for me. You may want to get it because it changes some features so that I can work better for your operating system. Wouldn't it be nice if software talked to you like that? I mean, just, a little less cold than the way it is. Just, hey, guess what? I can now print upside down. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, it is. Cool. Gone are the days of the PC load letter error. Did anybody ever see that in real life? I did. That was a long time ago. I used to have to pay 10 cents per laser page or laser print page when I was in college. 10 cents a page to print it off on laser versus the dot matrix printers. There are a lot of problems that could crop up in between your printer and your computer. We've listed out a handful of them. And granted, this may not explain your problem. And we may have missed a possibility for solving your problem with the printer. But as Ron Knights points out, I rarely use my printer. It gets mad at me. Every time I use it, it says it has a paper jam. That is possible. It may be time to get a new printer. Or just print digitally, man. I print to PDF all the time. Sometimes, though, you do need a physical copy of something. But the printer's days just seem to be numbered. And I don't mean the pages are numbered, because that's a different part of the whole printing process. But really, what are some of the biggest problems you've run into in terms of your printer? Where have they stemmed from, these problems? And more importantly, how did you solve them? Help us, help everybody else. We'd appreciate it. All right. I use a wired connection, but thinking of upgrading to wirelessly, said Galaxy Minder. Indeed, that may be the wise way to go. Go for Hoffman says, greetings from Japan. J35 Pone says, some printers are just crappy. I would agree with that. Ran out of ink, bought some more. The printer is just a few months old. Wow. Really? And it's giving you problems? Did you buy the Paper Jam edition, Ron? Is that the problem? Yeah, Ron Knights, the darned ink costs more than the printer. Ain't that the truth? Printers are worth nothing. It's the ink. Because, you go through the ink, and then you gotta buy more ink. It's kind of like drugs. The first taste is always free. So let's see about improving your Facebook experience inside of Windows 7. While you may believe we don't talk about Windows frequently, we actually do. And in fact, if you do your research of the 4,000 plus videos we've uploaded to YouTube, a fair amount of them are about Windows. And did you realize that a lot of Windows users are also on Facebook? Of course, a lot of Facebook users also happen to be using other operating systems, but did you also know that there are Facebook applications that tie into Windows better than the web browser you've probably been using to connect to Facebook or, any other mobile application? We uncovered quite a few things that may come in handy if you happen to use Facebook and Windows. And if you use neither one of them, I'm guessing you probably know someone who uses Facebook and has Windows. Unless you're someone who hates Facebook, never gets on it, doesn't have any friends on Facebook, and avoids anybody who uses Windows. That's a really bad way of deciding who your friends are. You're on Facebook? You're not my friend. You use Windows? Forget about it. Even I wouldn't draw that line in the sand. So there are some utilities that you might want to look at, including Sobeys. It's a new Windows desktop client built on .NET, so it's built with the Windows .NET framework, and it works well enough to help keep you connected to the Facebook experience. TweetDeck, if you didn't already know, which is cross-platform, also, because it's built on Adobe Air, also has the conduit to Facebook. So if you don't want to rely on Facebook.com, you can rely on these desktop apps, including Skype, that has Facebook integration now. I don't know if you knew that. Messenger for Windows also has Facebook integration. And then, of course, there are several gadgets you could possibly use to connect to Facebook. You want to stay connected to everybody that you want to be connected to, right? Otherwise, what's the point of connecting with people? So on Windows, having that experience integrated is going to make it a little less invasive when you need to check on the latest message or possibly post the latest status update to your friends or family members or whoever you share that Facebook experience with. But there are some ways that to make that experience a little more seamless, specifically within Windows 7. We only posted this because many of you were asking about it, and you could ask us questions related to Windows if you want us to answer it or you just want us to cover it. Head over right now. If you don't look at the article itself, which, by the way, I'm going to +1 like Harry Creeder, Alex Pirillo, Sean Jordan, Skylar Johnson, and Matthew Sabia did, and to share it publicly, too. If you have questions about Windows you want us to cover in the future, whether it's about Windows 7, Windows whatever, head over to go.tagjag.com/Windows. All right. I thought we didn't. Wasn't there another one? Did Microsoft? Is it Microsoft that had the page? Yeah, I think Microsoft had a separate page on I think on about Facebook, if I remember correctly. Although I don't see that link in the article. I see the Windows. Yeah, Messenger for Windows, Windows Live Messenger. Yeah, I thought there was another page, but maybe not. Maybe I was thinking of something else. So, which could very well be, because I think about a lot of things. Let's go ahead and move on to OS 10.8 Mountain Lion. This is something that I probably want to do something with. Not the operating system, but I actually want to zoom in on the Apple page. If you guys didn't catch the announcement, and I'll mention this again here in a minute, Apple just announced Mountain Lion to come out this summer with a handful of new items and options. I don't think sorry, I'm like thinking through exactly how I want to do this. And let's see here. Can you see that from the box? Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this then.
It's kind of a little bit on this side.
On this side?
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, hon. Got my producer/director over there.
Mm-hmm.
If you... Want to try it again?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to start staring at the screen. Wow! In case you didn't catch the news, Apple announced Mountain Lion to be released later this summer. So in a few months' time, you're going to have an operating system on, OS 10. That's an upgraded experience. Really, not a replacement, but an augmentation of what you've known for at least to this point with OS 10. See, it's not called Mac OS 10 anymore. It's just OS 10 outright. Inspired by the iPad, reimagined for Mac. Now, if you take a look at the article that I linked in the video's description, I kind of gave a synopsis, an overview, really explaining what this means for people. This is, I would say, a pretty fantastic upgrade if you use an iOS device, like an iPod Touch, an iPad, or an iPhone. So you've got deeper integration with iCloud, synchronizing just about everything that you might have on your computer with your mobile computers, like your iPod Touch, your iPhone, or your iPad. Yes, those are computers. Messages is a new client that's available for OS 10. You can download a beta right now if you have Lion, and it integrates the messaging system, like the Unified Messenger on iOS that we saw with the release of iOS 5. That's going to be built into the desktop outright, but you can try it right now. Reminders, an application you saw on iOS, now is going to be a desktop app. Notes as well. These things are going to synchronize. Okay, that's what makes this nice. This isn't just a few apps. It's a better experience, a cohesive experience. That's what Mountain Lion is all about. Inspired by the iPad, reimagined for Mac. So they're not causing you to have to think differently or treat your Mac like it's an iPad. It's not that at all. It's just allowing you to have a more seamless experience with your data. Instead of having to manage your data here and separately here and separately here, you only have to do it in one place and then it writes it everywhere, so long as you're using applications. There's a notification center that's, part of it is kind of ripped off Growl, if you're familiar with that tool on OS 10 for notifications. Share Sheets, kind of a little update. I mean, it allows you to more easily share content in an application that supports it. Twitter integration, Game Center integration, which is quite interesting. So are we going to see more games for OS 10 come into the App Store for the Mac? I'm guessing yes. So for anybody who would sit there and say, well, Mac isn't good for gaming, well, wouldn't you like to have something like Game Center elsewhere? a unified experience no matter where you are playing the games. So now the idea is you can have an iOS game and a Mac-based game through the App Store and be able to play your friends and gain achievements no matter how you happen to be playing the game. It's a unified experience. AirPlay mirroring, let me try it again. AirPlay mirroring is also interesting, much like AirPlay on an iOS device. Essentially, if you have an Apple TV, you can beam what is ever on your screen to the TV without configuring anything. Nice. Wireless. Easy. It's so simple, and that's the whole idea. Technology isn't getting more difficult to use, folks. It's getting easier. Gatekeeper is something that really is for those of you who know people who are their own worst enemy when it comes to software. How many times have you gone and looked at a computer to realize, wow, you installed some software you shouldn't have installed? Happens a lot, especially for those who don't know what they're doing with computers. And let's face it, there are a lot more non-geeks in the world than geeks. Well, Gatekeeper is an option that you can set so that you only authorize apps downloaded through the App Store, through publishers who are vetted, or you can just open up the floodgates and take whatever apps you want to download from anywhere. So they give you a choice. But the bottom line for the average user, this is a much more comprehensive experience if they already have the gateway drug, that is an iOS device, and they were thinking, should I get a Windows computer? Should I get Mac? What's the difference? Well, the difference isn't so much price as much as it is experience. And I don't know if you knew this, but it's been said 91%, or let's just say a fair amount. Okay, I'm not going to bludgeon you over the head with that statistic. 91%, or a fair amount of computers being sold today that are over the $1,000 price point are Macs. And some people say, well, you're just paying extra for the brand, but you also may be paying extra for the quality of hardware. It's not built of plastic anymore. So if you're thinking about possibly looking into getting a Mac, an affordable one, you could go this route. And for those of you who say it's too expensive, well, the next time you go to buy anything, keep that in mind. Cost is relative. What's expensive to you may not be expensive to somebody else. And you got to think about the time that you might spend fixing something that wasn't broken to begin with, or shouldn't have been broken. There are a lot of ups and downs, certainly, that will come with Mountain Lion, but I'm expecting that it is going to be available for right around $30. That's what Lion was available for, and that's a full license. It's not like some confusing scheme where you have to buy one version or another. It's just one version that you can get. Pricing is yet to be announced. And for anybody who would be someone who would question my integrity, I'm not getting paid by Apple. They kicked me out of the affiliate program. All I'm doing here is presenting you the information. You are free to do with it whatever you please. And for anybody who would say, well, I get my updates for free. You do. Windows Service Packs come out for free. I get point revisions for OS X. But you have to pay for the upgrade. What, you didn't pay when you went from Windows Vista to Windows 7? And don't sit there and tell me that Windows 7 was not an upgrade to Windows Vista. There's so many arguments you might throw out there, but at least try to have them hold water before you... You are a more complete geek if you understand not just your side of the force, but the opposite side. You owe it to yourself to pay attention to these trends because they're not going away anytime soon. Take a look at the article that I crafted for you on LockerGnome.com, giving you my analysis. It's linked in the video's description here below. And I know this is it's big news because everyone seems to be uploading videos about it, trying to get a hold of a developer preview, which you can get if you're a developer legally. And no matter how many times Chris says he isn't paid by Apple, people still say he does. I don't know. I don't know why I even have to come out and say that I don't get paid by Apple. When I do a video about Windows, and I've already done 2 of them today, people don't accuse me of getting paid by Microsoft. I think that it's good through my Apple ID, I can upgrade all my Macs for one price. Exactly. I love that. Can't wait to run Mountain Lion on my new Mac Mini that I can get from Chris. That Mac Mini might or might not run. It's an older one, but it works. It's got my autograph. I don't know who's going to get it. Who wants this Mac Mini? I can promise you will not run Lion or Mountain Lion. It's got a failed hard drive, but it's worth something. Less than nothing, at least to this point in time. It just depends on what you want, what you're looking for. I think OS X Lion, or Mountain Lion, not Lion. Lion is the one we have now. Mountain Lion is the next one coming out, 10.8, is going to be a pretty decent upgrade. It's incremental. It's not just software, but really sewing together of all these services that creates a comprehensive experience. Let me just put it to you this way. I want to see something similar come from Microsoft, but Microsoft doesn't care about user experience. They just don't. They don't. They never really have. They're getting there. But they care about the Microsoft experience, not the user experience. And if the Microsoft experience equaled the Apple experience, I'd be just as happy with it. But it's not about making the user feel stupid. It's about giving them the power to do what they need to do with technology without beating them over the head with it. And I have to say that over and over again because I know it's going to generate so much hate. But I think that hate for these features and the software is more jealousy than anything. Kind of have to combat the trolls before they come after me. And they're going to come after me anyway. They're expensive. I just upgraded my video card for $700. They're expensive. I spend so much money on coffee every year. They're expensive. I can't wait to get a Lamborghini. You know what I'm saying? They're expensive. I keep buying items in Minecraft. They're expensive. I just paid $75 for a new video game that I won't care about a month from now. Blizzardo 1 is offering $150. $150. You may have a deal there. $1.50. No, it's not $1.50. That says $150. There ain't no point in there. And you can't go through that, slide it in at the last second either. It's expensive. Everyone who claims it is, I don't want one. You want one free? Oh yeah, I want one for free. Macs suck. Unless you give one me for free. Well, then they don't suck. It's just you don't understand how your mind works, really.
They're bidding.
They're bidding? 152. All right, go with the silent auction there. They're doing a silent... It's not really a silent... It's a public auction back here for the Mac Mini. They're expensive! Yeah, I love it. Fanboy. They're calling me a fanboy. I've done videos on... 2 videos related to Windows. 3! Well, actually 2. 2 videos on... 2 videos on Windows. 1 video about a Mac, and I guarantee people are going to accuse me of either being a Microsoft fanboy or an Apple fanboy. Despite having done videos on both in the same day. Boo! Jesus. Apparently you guys need to look up the definition of fanboy. A fanboy would only talk about one or the other. I've talked about both. It's less about me and more about their shortcomings projected onto me. I think that causes problems. Yeah, that's right. You have shortcomings. Well, not every one of you out there, but just saying. Can we see the XP rant on Vista? Yeah, sure. It's still on YouTube there. It's clear, Mr. Fanboy. Yusuf Al-Barak. You shouldn't use an apostrophe there. So if you're saying that Windows users are illiterate, yeah, well, sorry about that. Sorry. I didn't type it. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just reading what you say. Just don't use an apostrophe that way. Apostrophes don't like being abused. All right, let's talk about something that shouldn't cause an argument. Top 5 mobile social networks. Hang on. I'm networking socially with my phone. Doesn't really matter what phone you have. If it's a smartphone, you can probably connect to a variety of networks that you're happy to connect to, like Twitter, Google+, Facebook. But there's some networks that are really only available and accessible on a smartphone. Networks we've talked about before, like Instagram or possibly even Foursquare. And granted, you can have a pseudo experience with those networks by the way of a desktop computer versus a mobile computer. But there are some some social networks that are really only for the mobile environment. Whether we're talking about a mobile environment like iOS, like Android, like Windows Phone 7. If you have not heard of an application called Path, they recently came under fire for a privacy flap that they have addressed. They've figured it out. They've fixed the problem. They should be good. Path is a limited network in the sense that you can only add so many people to your network. Because how many people do you really, really know, right? On Facebook, you can add everybody and their grandmother, but you may not know them. Path keeps you limited in terms of the friends that you can share with. So you have to winnow down your friends, really. You can't connect to everybody, unfortunately, on Path, but that's its strength. And using something like an iPhone app makes it easy because you're on the go, right? all the time. I mean, yeah, even if I'm sitting here in the desk, I'm not really on the go, but at least if I was on the go, Path and the app specifically built around it would allow me to stay connected without having to come back to a desktop machine to get a completely different experience. Everything is wrapped inside the app. There are other mobile-only social networks that we've listed off on the top 5 mobile social networks page. I'm going to go ahead and +1 this publicly and share it, just like Harry Creator, Alex Pirillo, Sean Jordan, Skylar Johnson, and Stacey Ferris have done. Another one mentioned, Stamped. And I hadn't heard about this one before. I may not be, their target market, but essentially, this is a new social network, creates a social experience out of recommendations by allowing its users to put a stamp on a recommendation or just about anything, whether it's a restaurant, bar, type of beer, club, band, show, whatnot. So it's a little like Get Glue, only it's a mobile application. Another one of those mobile applications that seemed to be a big deal when it first launched, largely because of the names behind it, like Kevin Rose, Oink. But I tried Oink for a little while. I don't Oink a lot. Does anybody here Oink? Yeah, there we go. Path was getting boring. What about Pinterest? Pinterest is another one, although Pinterest isn't a mobile social network, really. It's got a desktop conduit. A mobile app, yes, but it's not primarily mobile. And what we're trying to highlight in this particular article are the top 5, or really the top mobile-only social networks. Oink. Oh, Courtney likes to Oink. Well, yeah, but you know about the Oink? I want Oink, but I'd love to eat bacon. Well, bacon is not a social network. Yet. So what do you guys think? Are you guys using any mobile-only social networks, whether it's an iPhone, Android, Windows Phone 7, mobile-only or mobile-optimized social network? I use Max RV, asks, what the hell is Oink? Well, at least I knew what it was, but it just doesn't seem like a lot of people want to Oink about things. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I do have Oinkers in the audience. Did we miss one? A mobile-optimized social network. And if we did, leave a comment. Let us know, either here or there.
Oh, man. I missed it.
Oh, you missed it? Oh, that's funny. Is that 5?
Yes.
Okay. No, hey, Chris, can you cover building a Hackintosh? No, I can't. WhatsApp? Oh, yeah, I think I've heard about that one. WhatsApp is another good one. Oh, Yusuf Al-Barak was joking about me. Okay. But you shouldn't joke. I mean, you could joke like that, but I get accused of it all the time. You gotta understand. I get defensive about it. You just understand. So he's clear. He's clear. Still doesn't mean that apostrophe thing. I need to do a lesson on that one. Tic Tac. I think it's his first video. What is? Bacon, the social network of the epic meal timers. Oh, is it? Really? I didn't know that. I Oink at Piggly Wiggly. I've never been to one. Only seen in the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind. How many of these networks and services do we need? I quit trying new stuff. Yeah, I tend to do that unless, it's got a lion's share of the community's attention. Then I take a look. Backlink of the day is from Same Ramzazalabib. Sorry, I totally slaughtered that name. .wordpress.com. It's linked in the description. Take a look there. It's Sam of Sam's PHP How-To, who reaffirms why you shouldn't use fixed width text blocks when you're building a website by pointing to Kelly Clay's LockerGnome article that tells us how and why to make your website mobile friendly. So check it out. It's linked again in the description for this video. Pretty simple, straightforward, no muss, no fuss, and you can click it and say, wow, you linked to LockerGnome. Now, how can you get to be backlink of the day? Does anybody know how to get backlink of the day? You get backlink of the day by linking back to an article on LockerGnome.com. It's really easy to do. Takes no time, really, if you already have a website that links to other websites. Just link back to us and let me know. My email address is chris@pirillo.com. And then we will likely feature you as a backlink of the day and put your link in the video description, in our newsletter, on the chris.pirillo.com blog post, so on and on and on and on. Kind of like me during one of these broadcasts. Let's see here. Do you remember me? I said happy birthday to you. No, I don't. Sorry. I had a lot of people saying happy birthday to me. I know a few people. 160 likes, which is a little unfortunate. Sorry, my dad will not be able to make an appearance today. He was expecting 200. It's really kind of... It's disappointing that we couldn't get more likes here. And I tried. I mean, I said thank you for the likes. Thank you for sharing. But I I gave him the power, hon. What else can I do? I can't make them like something. I can only ask if they'll like something. Oh well, is there anything else you guys would like to cover instead? How do you come up with these moments of hilarity, or do you stay up all night thinking about how you can try and make a good imprint on this the next day? I was kidding about the bacon thing, by the way. Well, I don't think about it. Usually just what comes out of my mouth is what comes out of my mouth. And sometimes it's just, you just got to deal with it, really. And if you don't like it, well, you can go elsewhere. I don't know if we have questions that came in from the YouTube group, although we did get a question. $200 for your Mac from JM Fawcett 100. Really? That's not bad. It's better than Blizzardo 1's 150. I think I'm looking for questions, but no. Have you ever heard of the Pineapple Mark III? If not, you should talk about it. Says Mooney 200. I have not. I'd have to do research about it. I can't talk about something that I don't know, unfortunately. If not, you should talk about it. Well, how am I supposed to talk about something I don't know? Don't listen to anybody who talks about something they don't know. It's bad. It's bad, generally speaking. Can you read my name, Chris? Please. Yes, I can. I'm looking for questions, but I'm not really seeing any questions here. What is a normal day like in the life of Chris Pirillo? Asks Burroughs. It is very stressful. Today, I wrote an article. And then I did a hangout with some Google, or I should say YouTube partners. And then I did this live broadcast. And not long after that, I'm going to be co-teaching a class with entrepreneurs. And in between, I'm helping people in the Facebook group for Nomies. And I'm doing... Oh, Mom needs help. Do you want to do this now?
I don't care.
You guys want to see me help my mom? All right, let's give Mom some help here.
Oh, shoot, I'm playing Bejeweled.
She's playing Bejeweled, which she got for free at Starbucks. I gave her the card. They were giving that out for free the other week. All right, Mom, you get to sit in the hot seat. And it's hot because I've been sitting in it. All right. Everybody, welcome to the stage, Mrs. Judy Pirillo.
Okay.
I had onions, but they don't know. All right, hang on. How's that look, honey? From your end?
Ow.
How does it look on the screen? Mom's a little short, but...
Are you going to be showing the screen?
Yeah, I'm going to be looking over her shoulder like this. I think.
So you want me to open it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Turn up the... No, that's the volume. Turn up the brightness on the other end. The sun. There you go. Are you ready to go, hon?
Yep.
So I am joined by my mom here on set in my home office. She has a question specifically related to backing up photos on her computer, which happens to be a MacBook Pro. She uses Picasa, which is free, cross-platform on Linux, OS X, and Windows. It's one of my favorite photo management tools. The photos don't actually reside in Picasa. It's just basically a photo browser. So, Mom, you had some questions.
Well, first, when I get back home, I will be learning the iPhoto.
Okay.
So Picasa probably, I will be using that as my viewer instead of Picasa probably. Because my understanding is it's pretty good. Yes, I do have a question. I have several folders in my Picasa from 2011 with, and I usually put them on a CD and then just store that, but you have given me a gigabyte drive thing.
An external hard drive, which is a little more than a gigabyte.
Okay.
So what do we want to do?
So I want to put my photos, just certain... I don't want all of these folders to go on there. Can I choose which folders I put on there?
Let's go ahead and plug in that external hard drive.
Okay.
Because I may have to look at how to do this through Picasa, which you're familiar with, rather than going through the folder the other way. The other way. There you go. Other than the folder structure. This is just a simple...
I would have gotten it eventually. All right. So it's not on that side, but it is on this. It is on this side. So we put it over here. And this is going to hold my photos. And my understanding is this has got 500 gigabytes.
Could be.
And, well, it says so on the
well, then I'd hope
thing.
so.
So that should hold many thousands of photos.
Oh, most likely. Okay. So the first time you plug in the
I'll
hard
die before
drive,
I can get it filled.
right? It's asking. Well, let's hope not. So It's asking if you want to use it as a time machine volume. Just go ahead and don't use.
Okay, what is a time machine?
It's something that if you had that hard drive plugged into your computer, it would automatically back up everything on your hard drive onto the drive.
Okay,
It's an easy way to back up.
No.
It's seamless,
Okay.
like it takes no work. But we don't want to use it for that. So you've now effectively plugged in the hard drive. Can we take a look? Can you move the Picasa window over a bit to the left?
Yes, because
Okay.
it'll be on here.
Yes.
There's my
You
G
see,
drive.
There's the G drive. And, well, that's what it's called. It's not the G drive on Mac OS X. But go ahead and double-click it. And it looks like there's nothing in there right now.
Correct.
So, I want you to click that where it says Pictures in that sidebar.
Oh, not the documents?
No.
Oh,
not
documents would be, okay, that's
Right.
something else. Okay.
So, those folders that you have in Picasa, are they named the same here?
yes.
Okay. So, what I want you to do is for the folders that you want to have on that G drive, I want you to click and drag the folder from the Finder window, which is what you're in right now. You're
Yeah.
looking at the Pictures folder. Drag it, one at a time is fine, over the hard drive icon, the G drive icon,
Okay.
and then let go. And that should effectively copy.
Okay, I was going to say it won't take them out. It'll just copy, right?
Yes, it'll just copy. The only difference, if you accidentally moved it to the desktop, it would just move it to the desktop. But you're not going to do that. There you go, just like that. And in fact, when you did that, did you see that little
Yep.
green plus button? That lets you know that you're copying it, not moving it. So you're doing it.
Oh, okay.
You're basically copying the images over. It's okay. There you go, just like that. And you do this for each particular folder. And what we can do, it confirms here, copying all these items to G drive. As long as you have those photos organized in folders within Picasa, which again is just a viewer, then you'll be able to do this easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Okay, I forgot which one I was on. I think,
think you were
this
on-
is the next one.
Yeah. Oh, you moved it. That's okay. Remember I said you may have moved it to the desktop.
Okay.
So there it is on the desktop. Go ahead and drag it back in and let go. You just moved to the
Okay.
desktop, so
All right, so
it's easy to undo anything. Unless you delete and empty your trash, which we're not going to do.
right there.
Yep. Uh-oh, you moved it again.
No, I got to put it back in first.
You don't have to put it back in, but don't drag it into a folder. Don't. There you go.
All right. I have trouble dragging on the trackpad.
Do you want to use a mouse?
Well, I'm better with a mouse, but
Okay, because we can connect the USB mouse to this
Okay,
and
there it
have
goes.
it work right away. Okay, so you're on the whatever you want to copy.
Yeah.
There you go. In fact, if you hover over that icon long enough, sometimes it'll pop up into a new Finder window. It's a spring-loaded folder is what it's called. So if you hovered over for too long, that might happen, just so you know. It's not hurting anything. It's just thinking that you may want to put it elsewhere other than in the root or the primary of that drive. There you go. It's this simple.
there was something else up on top of that, but now it's gone. I don't know where it went. Okay, so I got atoms and
You can
that,
confirm
and
by
things and
opening up the
Chris's.
G drive icon, and you can do it while it's copying.
Oh, okay. And those are for next year. See, I'll keep all those on, and I will put all the 2012 pictures on there. And iChat icons. That's what was at the top. What is the iChat?
It comes with Mac OS X. It's basically iChat is a messenger, so they store the buddy icons within that folder, which you can ignore.
Okay, but look what happened. It quit.
No, it didn't quit. It's still moving.
Oh, it's the movies, I bet.
Yeah, yes, and video files are definitely large.
Yeah. But, oh, so cute. Okay. So now if I wanted to go here and see what's on there,
Double
I
click.
double click. Okay, I have Adams and Alex and Ben's and Chris's and vacations, and I think that's all of them.
That's all you wanted?
So, yeah, because the rest of them are for next year,
Okay.
and miscellaneous doesn't go on there.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. And then that doesn't go on there. And iPod cache. I have no idea what it is.
If you don't know what the folder is,
I
my
ignore.
suggestion is ignore it. Don't do anything.
Oh no, Route 66.
Okay.
My Route 66 pictures that Joe and I took this marvelous trip onto Route 66.
I've never seen anybody use a trackpad like my mom. And somehow
My
she gets it
fingers are
there.
short.
I don't get it. Did you see?
412 pictures in our Route 66 folder, and I had over 1,000. I got it down. But it's a marvelous trip if anyone ever wants to and we followed the old Route 66 because there's several repositioned Route 66s. So we had a marvelous time. And we didn't kill each other.
So is that what you needed then?
I think so. Now, next year when I put them on, I just have to connect this and again go to pictures. So I need to write this down because in a year I'll forget.
Or you can come back and watch this video.
True. And just do pictures and click and drag it over there.
Right.
Awesome. So now I don't have to worry about a CD, all these CDs that I have. Can I then put CDs? Okay, let's say I have all my CDs like from Alaska and every place. Can I put the CD in and then click and drag that to the G drive?
Yes.
Okay. We will experiment with that when we get home.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Don't delete anything.
Don't delete where?
I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh.
Unless you know you're deleting it, just be careful about what you may be deleting. And also, there's a new version of Picasa available for download, FYI.
Well, but I think I really want to learn iPhoto because...
and they're two different things, just so you know. You can still use both. iPhoto is different. Mm-hmm. Not better, not worse, just different.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe what I'll do is I'll do my one-on-one lessons with Mac that I have purchased, and then I'll go in and learn how to do iPhoto, and then compare it to Picasa. And boy, I'm surprised I didn't get the update though, because usually I update.
Yeah, usually it comes out. Is there a reason why you have all the WMV files on your desktop? Can you put it into a folder?
Yes, I don't know how to do it in a folder.
Go to open
downloads?
Up. Yeah, that's fine.
Or not?
Yeah,
no, I want it in a folder.
Okay,
show me how.
Go to downloads. Just click it. Okay, open in Finder.
Called you Judge Judy.
Who did? Oh.
Go to. They don't really make a video folder outright, but go to or movies. I guess go to movies.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay.
And then create a new folder in here. Go up to the gear icon at the top of the screen.
Okay, just a minute here.
Mm-hmm, yep, and select it and press new folder. Oh, wow. And call it.
Christmas 2000.
Well, hang on. Hit enter because you didn't.
Oh.
You clicked off it accidentally. There you go. Or tap. There you go.
Okay. Whoops.
And this is going to be all the videos we're going to drag in there.
And then when I want to view them?
We'll just double click them. Because converting these videos into a better format is a different challenge altogether.
And can I ever get them off of there, though?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just getting them off your desktop.
Okay.
Hit enter if you're finished or
I think
return.
I am too.
Okay, so now you go to drag that down and then just copy.
So click.
Select whatever you want to select in there and then drag them into that folder.
Can I select all of them?
Yeah, you can, but not easily.
Okay. All right. So into this folder?
Yeah, and you can select more than just one.
Oh, okay.
You can select a range. That's one way of doing it.
How do I know it's going in there?
Because it disappears.
Ah.
So this is what you would do to move them all on there.
Do you want me to stop doing this because of the video?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was just showing you how to do it.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right, and I can unplug this, right?
No, wait. Before you unplug anything that's plugged in, make sure you eject it.
Oh, yeah, I know. You told me that, and
Okay, so here's how you do it. Close this window here, or just move it out of the way. Minimize it or whatever. You can always get back to it. And select the G drive. And then you don't have to double click it. You can either, if you remember how to right click, you can do that, or you can drag it over onto the trash to eject it.
Right click.
2-finger tap.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Should. I'm pretty sure
See,
I configured
sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes, yeah, it is. But sometimes it doesn't.
Make sure
No, you did, because I copy and paste that way all the
okay.
time.
Well, if you can get the right click. Okay,
There.
now eject G Drive Slim. Then it disappears, then you know it's safe to
yeah, I
unplug.
remember you told me that, and I get a nasty message
It's
when
fine.
I don't do it.
It's because of the way it writes, back and forth to make sure all the data is passed back and forth. Just fine.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep.
Oh, this one.
What about it? Same thing.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, but
All right,
it's
Dad.
got my old things on.
All right, Dad, you ready?
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to be able to do the budget thing right now unless you want to. Wait, did you want to do the budget thing now?
What, yeah. No.
What do you think? What do you think, guys? Should Joe do the budget thing just for Nomies? I have to ask. Should it be just for Nomies? I'm going to throw it out to the crowd. They say it's Joe time. Gotta wait. I guess gotta give him a couple minutes to catch up. Just for us, share for all. I don't mind, not everybody. We paid for it, whichever. I think it for all. No other people need it. Okay. So, I guess we'll do it for everybody. You've been given a reprieve, even though this is something related to business, and Dad will have to say if you want more business advice, you should join us at Nomies, because they'll do more that way. Right?
Right.
Okay. Gotta turn him into a salesman.
Don't step on that.
Step on what? The computer? Why am I gonna step on a computer? When in my entire life have I stepped on a computer? Never.
Come on, Jude.
Okay.
Huh?
How are you gonna show? Are you gonna show the computer somehow?
No, I'm going to use it because I got notes on it. I kind of use it as
Okay,
a
well,
cheat
I say
sheet.
put it up here. Do you need, if you need
Well, I'll
it,
get it up there.
Gotta watch the time.
well, I'm saying put it. You print it up. We'll be fine on time, I think.
Put it on top of this.
Well, if you want to, if you need to see it, it may be easier for you to see because it's propped up.
Okay, I'll try it.
Well,
All
I didn't know. Okay, yeah. You're in control. You know what you're doing.
All right.
You know what
Well,
you're
I don't
doing.
know. I got to show off my hat. Hi, everybody. I wanted to show you my hat. This is my hat. I have several Gnome Dex hats. I got one with the propeller, and I'll wear that in one of the videos I do once I get doing them at home. I'm going to take this off now. And I want just to share with you, this is my PDA. People ask me, what do I do when it gets all messed up? Like this one, I got all my notes. They're all done. All I do is and I pre-did some of this. I just move everything over and just leave the ones that are incomplete. And then I move my stickies over. So now I have a new PDA and it's all clean. So we're going to talk about budgets. I asked people what they used. Some of them said they do it very simply on an iPhone, which is good. There's several apps out there. It's all up to you what you want to use. Some folks said they did them on an iPad, which is good too. I don't think there's a wrong place to do a budget. The main thing is to do a budget and live by a budget. And someone said I needed to go to the Apple Store and buy a new computer. So I did, but all they give me was an Apple. So I'm not quite sure how this will work, but I'll give that a shot later. So here, I'm going to get my computer. It's not an Apple, but it is a computer. And I got some notes on there, kind of like a cheat sheet. Nah, I don't need that. Okay, now people have been asking me about budgeting. And yeah, you can virtually use any of the machines or any of the software that's available. Being one that likes Excel a lot, I use that a lot. Some people use the iPhone, some use an iPad, some use a computer, some use other. Some people use a laptop. But I have what I call budget in the box. And I'm going to ask my budget expert to come join me. and this is going to surprise you all, but this is what you use to really do a budget that'll really help you. And I have to admit, I went to school to learn to be an accountant, but Judy really taught me this, and it really worked great for us, and so she's going to help me explain it. The only thing you really need is some envelopes, maybe some index cards to make notes on. And what you want to do, the first thing you want to do if you're married, you want to make both you and your spouse agree that you're going to work on a budget. Then you need to know the difference between your needs and your wants. And that's tough, especially for us guys. Yes, and I bought, no one's asked, but I did buy new batteries, and so I got a brighter shirt on today. The first thing you want to do is you first got to determine how you're getting paid and what kind of income you have. Some people get paid weekly, some people bi-weekly, some people twice a month, etc. So you have to know what your income is. And unfortunately, we're not all like the government. We can't spend more than we have come in. So the first thing you want to do in a budget process is pay yourself first. If you have the availability of a 401k at work and they do any kind of a match, you max out your 401k so you at least get that back. Now, because of things that have been happening in the economy, some of the companies have gone away from the matches and have reduced them. But if you're still active in those, keep your money going in there. The other thing is you want to start a Roth IRA. You can put your money away every year, and when you retire, and it's not as far as you think, you could take that out tax-free. So now what we do, I'm going to have Judy tell you kind of what we do. We just, why don't you take a few of these and just tell them how you... I used to get paid twice a month. So our budget was based on the 1st and the 15th of the month.
Okay.
Tell them kind of what we did.
First, we had to determine what bills were due when. And then, so we coincided with when he was paid, so they were paid ahead. You never want to pay, especially a credit card bill, behind, because you are charged horrible, horrible interest rates, and you will never catch up. So, we took the envelopes and we said, this was like house payment, or electric and or water, because our electric and water is separate, and so forth and so on. Clothing, if you have it, groceries. Guys, I still use cash for groceries. I don't charge it. I know what's in my envelope, and when it's gone, it's gone. So that's the secret to envelope budgeting, is making an envelope for it, putting the money in it, or determining what you're going to need for it. And if you're using cash, let's say you've just put so much away in an envelope, the secret is you don't take it out of the envelope to pay another bill. You don't take from Peter to pay Paul.
Right. We have 3 savings accounts we use in addition to the envelopes. We have our regular savings, then we have money we transfer into, similar to an escrow, if you're familiar with that. And that's where we put the money that, it's like our envelope for some of our bills, like our house payment or real estate taxes. Some of the things you'll want to consider when you're making a budget are your housing cost, or rent if you rent, your utilities. Now, a nice thing in utilities, at least back home, they have what they call budget billing. So we've been on budget billing almost since we've been married. And that way, we always knew every month what that bill was going to be. So that in the real cold months, our bill wasn't real high. Or in the real hot months when you used a lot of air conditioning, it stayed level through the whole year. And they analyze that every so often and adjust what you have to put in. Then consider, you got to remember your water. Solid waste now is a big thing. They charge for that. Real estate taxes, usually that, and your insurance is in your escrow and gets paid automatically. Things you don't want to forget, you want to survive. So you want food, clothing, medical insurance, include your copays. It's tough to guess these things, but try and budget them in there. Loans, That would include like student loans for you new graduates, car loans if you have those, money you borrowed from friends and or family that you want to pay back. Credit card, big thing. Make a commitment to pay off your debts. And the best way to do it, I'm going to have Judy explain to you how the best way is to attack paying off your credit cards and other bills.
Well, first of all, there's a lot of credit card companies out there that says, send us money and we'll help you pay this bill off because they can negotiate. Well, that's correct. They can negotiate with credit card companies, but so can you. If you get a hold of someone and you talk to them and you just are insistent that you want to go up the line and I want to pay this bill off, but I can't pay this whole amount off, they many times will deal with you. So the best way to do it is start with your lowest credit card debt and pay that off. Then take that money that you were paying to that and you pay it on your next lowest one. So now you're probably paying double payments. And that when that's paid off, then you pay it on to the next one. When that's paid off, and so forth down the line.
Okay. Some of the things you'll want to consider too is like when you go to and from work, costs a lot of money. It's more and more every day with gas prices going where they're going. You have to pay for parking. If you bring a lunch, that'd be great. We used to call it brown bagging. I'm not sure they still call it that or not. But that's the best way to have your lunch because lunches themselves are getting expensive. And if you need to stop for that coffee in the morning, that can be expensive. Parking, especially like around here in the Seattle area, is a premium. So it must be a pretty tough thing to have to budget for with a family. The other things you want to remember when you do a budget, and you put amounts to all these, you do your best guess. Now you can track for a month or two to see where your money's going, then do your budget. But try and start with a budget, saying, yeah, my house payment's $500, my utilities $200, just so you have some benchmark to start from. Because a budget is a fluid thing. You have to adjust sometimes. But don't forget to pay yourself an allowance, too. We have the savings. You want to maximize your savings right up front. Have automatic, if 401k is the best bet, but if you don't have that, do an automatic payment from your paycheck to your savings account.
Before you even get your paycheck.
Right. Have that done every single month.
You don't miss it if you don't see it.
Right. So, and then if you get an increase, let me say, when you get your increase, then increase that amount that goes into that savings, and don't use that money. Pay yourself an allowance. You sit down, both if you're married, both of you, or if you're by yourself, you sit down, and what you really need as an allowance, that would be to stop and get that cup of coffee. And the other thing you wanted, and this is where we used our envelopes. We used it for allowance, entertainment. Like you're going to go to the movies, plan how many times you're going to go to a movie. That can get expensive, getting more and more expensive. I guess this Netflix and some of the other things around might be a better option. The other thing people forget is Christmas and other holidays. I mean, some people, Easter's big. Some people, Thanksgiving's big, Hanukkah, all the various holidays. Kwanzaa, all of them. You want to budget for those things. So that you know ahead of time, you want to try and budget about a year out. And an important thing, in my opinion, I think this is probably where the Europeans have over us Americans, is a vacation. Always plan a vacation. Always take a vacation. I would suggest no less than 2 weeks, but most of us, at least when I was working, we usually have to limit it to a week. Some of the things we mentioned are just very minimal, and it's not all inclusive. Some of the things we mentioned is just thought-provoking for the things you have to plan for that you're going to spend. Use the envelope system. It's very easy. Put all your entertainment money in one envelope, all your food money in another envelope, and you go into the store, you grab the food envelope. Okay. Then at the end of your budget period, you can look in those, and then anything left, you can either use it, like put all that extra into entertainment, or maybe a special night out with the family, or put it right back into savings.
And I want to, when I had said that I still use cash at the grocery store, I know a lot of you are probably going, you don't use a debit card, or you don't use a ATM card, or you don't use a credit card. No, I don't. Because, again, when I look in there and that envelope's empty, that's it. That's the end. I wait until our next pay period to get whatever it is we need. I buy a lot on sale things, too. But when you use one of those other types of cards, you spend indiscriminately. Oh, yeah, wow, I want that. And, the next thing you know, you really have used a lot of money on groceries that you probably wouldn't have bought if you had cash.
Yeah, the credit and the debit cards, in a way, are a good thing because you don't have to carry around a lot of cash. But if you use a credit card, pay it off every month. The other thing I would suggest, look out there and get a credit card that either gives you points for additional merchandise or they give you a cash back. There's some pretty good deals out there, but the key is to pay the credit card off every single month. And if you really want to get out of debt, the first thing you want to do is cut up all those credit cards because they'll get you in trouble. Worst case, only use one card.
And couponing.
And coupon. You want a coupon. My wife's used coupon. She's basically pretty much on the same budget now, 42 years later.
Yeah.
And we're still kind of have the same budget. Now, we've increased some of the things.
We had up the grocery budget.
We increased things like groceries and gas and utilities and those kinds of things. But the key is get on top of your spending. Get your spending under control. Some people say get yourself a little notepad. You've got to get a PDA like me or use your iPhone or smartphone and list it as you spend it. So then you get an idea, well, geez, I'm spending, a bad one. And I used to be a smoker, and I know it's very, very hard to quit. And it's hard for a smoker to quit. But I'll tell you that it's so expensive that that's a tough thing to budget for. And then you can save a lot of money if you quit. But a lot of that's true. Don't drink 2 coffees every day. Cut it back to 1. So
I think we need to stop.
Okay, cool. So get your finances under control, and hopefully next time I see you, everybody's got it all whipped.
Someone said that they have a $25 a day budget, and they're always under it. Awesome.
That's good. See, now that's a good way to approach it. A daily amount, and stay within that. That's great. The key is to do it. Yay.
I didn't know that.
I have a budgeting tip.
Yes.
Yes.
My stuff out
Don't
of the way.
spend more than you have.
That's right. That's exactly right, my dear. Don't spend more than you have.
Yeah, that's a good.
Well, and that's
Good
why
rule.
the credit cards, you get in trouble.
I'll get that
You
computer.
get in trouble
That's fine.
with credit cards.
Yeah. Now I need to wash my hands.
Oh.
Kidding. Joke. Sorry not to offend any Toshiba users out there. Alright, just put that here for now. Let's see here. We probably have to start wrapping her up this week. Today. So it's today Thursday?
Yeah.
So we'll have one more tomorrow. That was, for now, at least the last broadcast we're going to have with the folks. They're going to be gone tomorrow. But we're going to see about possibly getting Dad upgraded all across the board so that he can join us remotely for a Hangout or a Skype session in a computer here that I might move here during a live TLDR broadcast. Don't think he's going to be able to do that every day, but possibly even once a week, give you something to look forward to. And then hopefully he'll be producing more on his own channel, Joe Pirillo on YouTube. Of course, he's also on Google+. There are several Joe Pirillos on Google+. The one you want to circle is the one with Mickey Mouse ears at this point in time. And, of course, he is also very active, in case you miss him. He's active on Gnomies, and he will probably have business-related tips for Gnomies to share, since there are a lot of business owners who have joined the group lately, and I'm very grateful that they have. In fact, I would say Joe Pirillo is the Gnomie of the day! Yay! Yay, Joe. He's active. He's going in there, he's commenting in the Facebook group and whatnot. I don't think he's on LinkedIn yet. No. Not really. He has really no reason to be on LinkedIn. We have the business discussion list, though, as well for the Gnomies, in case you guys have questions that are related to a business, and that is, possibly a career choice for you. Now, if you're not even worried about your career at all, it may not be for you. That's okay. It doesn't have to be for everybody. They were here, for a few weeks, and then I think I'll be seeing them again in April. at least, going to be taking a trip for myself. We're going to go see my brother get married in Las Vegas. And so I'm going to be broadcasting, I believe, on the Strip, although I don't have the full details yet. I'm putting some things together, and possibility of having a pretty good live stream connection from Vegas is a good one. So we will still be broadcasting even when I am away, and with any luck, we'll be able to still have fun while I'm not gambling. Because believe you me, dealing with a hotel's internet connection is gambling enough. My email address, chris@pirillo.com. Feel free to drop me a line. Of course, you can also subscribe to the LockerGnome email newsletter by heading over to LockerGnome.com or chris.pirillo.com, looking for the little big red arrow today. That's what it looks like. Right underneath it, you put your email address in, get an email out. Yum Yum Fun is what it's all about. Isn't that Snoopy Snow Cone Machine? Remember that? That's how it went. It's not really Yum Yum Fun. You're not supposed to email newsletters. Or if you are, you're doing it wrong. Feel free, of course, to share what we are creating for you, whether it's on YouTube or elsewhere. We appreciate the +1s, the likes, the tweets, the retweets, anything you can do to get the word out. Head over to go.tagjag.com/spread to automatically share the things that we're posting on LockerGnome.com, chris.pirillo.com, or onto this YouTube channel. Automatically, you can control it every step of the way. Please be public about your support for the things that we're creating for you. We're doing them for free. Yeah, see, not everything is about things that cost money, folks. Here, how's that for budgeting? Put free content into your budget. I think we can accommodate. And so thank you so much for the 217 people. 217 people have liked the video. Thank you, all 217 of you. Thank you, those of you who have joined us. Nomies, you can join them at nomies.com for more business and fun. We need a word of the day. The word of the day, budget was kind of talked about. We need something unique. Something that's something unique. Yeah, we brought something that we didn't really bring up in the show, so that we know people have watched this far into the video. Candy apple. Okay, candy apple for some reason. And my dad thought he was the only one to ever come up with the apple joke. Humor him, okay? We all have to anyway. So candy apple is the name of the is the word of the day that you can use. Type it in so that we know that you've made it this far into the video that we've recorded for you, assuming that YouTube keeps this video recording, and we hope it does. And, you're more than welcome to join us in the chat room, part of the live video feed, and you never really know what's going to be discussed. Today it was a range of business topics all the way to talking about Windows games and OS 10 releases and, geeky things, non-geeky things alike. And as a Nomie, a registered Nomie, you have the opportunity to participate with others in that voice chat or in the private IRC group. I'm trying to make it easy and fun for everybody, but you got to meet me halfway, folks. The stuff that we're doing is probably worth way more than what we're asking for, especially if you appreciate the content that we give you for free. Just think of the Nomi subscription as a way to support us beyond, what you do now, and even paying attention is good enough for me. So, you are more than welcome to join us in that chat room, listening in live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.